Hi, everybody. This is Studio 801 Music Matters, and I'm your host, Harry. Today we have with us the band Barren Mind. Welcome, guys. Why don't you introduce yourselves? Who are you? What do you play?
Yep. My name is Nick. I am the lead singer as well as the guitarist for the band.
I'm Cass, and I play the drums.
I'm Whitney Houston. I play the bass. My name's Chandler. I play the 5-string bass.
Okay, great.
Why'd you have to specify?
The 5-string.
Because I'm special.
Just a low B.
Just to make sure that nobody confused it with a
just so like nobody compares me to their level.
Yeah,
or like I've got a little bit more experience than you. I got one more string.
Yeah. I'm pro, man.
You're trying to.
I have a patch that I think is gonna sum you up perfectly. It says, "Mama says I'm special."
It's true.
Mama says you're special. All right. So, Barren Minds, where's the name come from?
That's all you, man.
It was kind of I don't know if I told you guys. So I was in a previous band, and it was just kind of like a brainstorm list of like, here's what the drummer thinks it should be, here's what the singer should be, thinks it should be, guitarists, and then like everyone had a very different idea of where that band was going to go back then. I've always kind of had like a more alt-prog type influence. I mean, my influence is all over the place. So in that particular time, I was very like into the whole learning the proggy side of like the bass guitar, like barely accomplishing Tool, but like wanting to play Rush and then realizing how bad it was, like how hard it was and how bad I was. So I was in that alt mindset. So it was just like one name that just like, we're like, oh, that didn't sound too bad, and then just never came back to for that previous band.
And
so
double entendre.
What was our? We had a working name for a little bit.
Did we? I figured it was because
I remember we had a lot of silly ass.
It was Unnamed Band 2. Then
I feel like
because
our song started
Unnamed
like,
Band 14.
Our first song was
like
originally called like
or
Unnamed Song 8.
yeah.
Because I told him, hey guys, I have this song that I didn't know what to call yet, so it's called Song 1. So whenever we wrote our first song together, we were like, well, it's not Song 1. Like, let's just call it Song 8.
Well, that's the classical composers would do that. Opus number 4.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely take influence from that.
Some really absurd song names in our Discord where we share all the files.
Yeah.
What are some of the good ones? The names. What are the best song names?
We had one called Tool and Thief. I don't remember why it was called any of that.
Well, there was Tool and Chains. It was
but Tool and Thief was first, and then we wrote a different song, and that
Dreams.
song is Tool and Chains.
So
now.
the Tool part is like probably like we were like listening to Tool, or like someone was like, we made a riff and it was like, oh, that kind of sounds like that, like inspired wise. We're like, okay, Tool, and then like something silly, right?
I don't know. I just remember we were writing it. We were talking about Tool. I called you a tool.
And it's usually like a 5-second decision. Like, all right, guys, like we're like, all right, it's like 1:30 a.m. We need to bounce this track so we can all listen to it. What do you want to call it? And then Cass will just be like,
Bobby Fischer.
The last one we said Brazil, but someone, I think I mispronounced it, or somebody mispronounced it. We call it Brazil. Like BRACIL.
Yeah, I don't know. So we're just like, so it's called Brazil. No reason. Because song names are like the last item on our list for writing a song.
Yeah.
Like we will write everything, lyrics and all, theme, everything, and then put the name last.
Yeah.
So we have these like, frankly, BS names for many weeks until we have the real name at the end.
Oh, I've worked with some artists that have done that, where like they will come up with a name to call it in a. So like we'll start recording and they don't really have a name for what the song is, and they'll make up something, and then you get done with it and they've decided that it's going to be something completely random, unrelated to where they started with. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's like the saddest song ever, and they're like, Sunshine. Like where did that come from?
We're just goofy little guys.
I'm just a goofy little guy. Goofy little things.
How long you guys been together?
Gosh,
I'm pretty bad at math.
I don't know
I
that.
think we started August of last year, so what is that, like 10 months?
Really?
Sure.
Yeah, I want to say 10 months.
Going on.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that's crazy.
because like I'd mentioned before we started rolling, Cass and I came from another band, Mother Gnome, and we had gotten introduced to a mutual friend, to Chandler, who was in a band, another DFW band called Roots Remain. And so we were all kind of like, we had our own projects at the time, but talking about getting something going. Some time passes. We've written, a song or two together, and we kind of realized, like, this is much more fun and much easier.
Yeah.
Like, and we're writing more complex things, and it's easier, and it's making sense to everyone, and we're enjoying it more. Like, that's about 2-3 months in. We decide, like, that's going to become, like, at least for me, I was like, this is my priority, and then I know Cass and I had left Mother Gnome, Chandler had left Roots Remain, and so about 10 months total, but really started after about 2 to 3 months of figuring out, like, kind of what is this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was around the same time that I was like, probably. It's like when you're in multiple projects, you're like, which one am I, like, if it's come down to, like, scheduling, you're like, which one do I get the most fulfillment out of, like,
Yeah.
creatively? What do I feel the most, like, not satisfied, but, like, like...
Fulfilled was a good word.
Yeah, fulfilled. Yeah, let's not get sus with it.
Yeah.
But I get more out of this than that, basically. And I kind of turned my eyes that way, hung around for a couple months, around the same time, and then just switched over to Barren Mind.
Kind of like worked out. Like, we were all just kind of like ready for a new project to focus on around the same time we met.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What's that's great.
Mhm.
What's best band story? Like,
Oh gosh.
yeah, good, bad, ugly.
I remember what was funny to me was before our first show, we had a practice, and he's using like a 5-string regular scale bass, or not regular scale, but
No.
it's a longer
It's an
scale,
extended scale.
but it's not it's not fanfret, and so our last practice before the show, he breaks a string, and it's like a high string because, like we said, he likes Tool, so he plays high on bass.
G string.
And so he broke the string, and his bass has a long scale length, so he couldn't just readily find bass strings for that scale length. And so I remember he went through like 3 different sets that he thought were the right scale
I
length.
spent like $80
Then like an
on strings that did not fit my freaking bass.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest. If you figure out how to make a bass string, you deserve it.
yeah.
Popular opinion, you deserve it.
And
It's like there's a contradiction. I have a Schecter Omen Elite 5, so it's like a Omen Elite. There's like a 6-string guitars. I have a whatever. So basically, stop.
he's ready. He's ready to defend himself.
Oh, okay, don't let me vent. Too long. Didn't read too long of a story. My scale length is long. If the normal neck is about yay big, mine's about yay big, because
bro.
the first couple frets on a bass might be like almost an inch. Like first couple, like maybe an inch or two. They get smaller as they go down.
Him.
I'm telling a story. And on mine, it's like my first 2 or 3 frets are like almost 2 inches long. So I got all these packs of like strings. I would string them up on that high B, or not high B, the low B, and it would be like tapering down before the nut.
Yeah.
So I was like, these are some weird strings, and I put them on. I kept trying on that first pack, and then as soon as I had like popped a string, which never happens on a bass anywhere ever, except for the one time before our show.
Yeah.
I was
like
like, there's
having
something wrong
bass
here. So there's like a specific,
You got trolled
Set.
by the
What was-
music store.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah, what was
and
kind of
a-
funny
and a friend
was he sent
of y'all's.
at the time, because it was on a work day. So at the time, he had sent his girlfriend to the store, and this local store, our ex-band member, Cass and I's ex-band member, worked at and was helping his girlfriend find strings and suggested the wrong ones. They were like an inch short.
I don't
on
even think it
scale.
reached your nuts, did it?
Yeah,
No.
so
Didn't
so
touch
right
the nut.
before the show, we're like, he calls me 2 hours before, like, they don't work, like, and he calls me because 1, I'm in the band, and 2, I also play bass. I have a few different basses, but a lot of mine are, I like to play kind of higher tunings than him. So I'm like, well, I have a multi-scale that can handle lower tunings. like a dingwall, and it's like a Thunderbird style shape. So the neck's way out there, but I guess he's used to it. But it's like super fan fret. So at our first gig, he's just using my bass, which is way outside of the realm. It's nothing like his current one, and it was a total last minute decision. We're like spending all of sound check, like, how can we get your tone?
There's a lot of a check.
It was like, gosh, that was really random and a lot of
We
stress.
just,
very
about, we
stressful.
just about nailed it, and then the venue like buried my bass. So there was
Oh,
like
yeah.
a
Yeah.
drum and bass like solo section
Oh,
where
my
like,
goodness.
the
I forgot
guitarist,
about
vocalist is like, I need to grab a beer, I'll be right back. And we are like, well, we'll do something real quick.
Yeah.
So by all accounts, from all my friends and my girlfriend, they're like, all right, this is like a little section. Nick was like, all right, I'm gonna go screw off and go get whatever. And then they just see me up there like, no noise.
I
They
can
just
hear,
hear
I can hear the bass. He was going crazy.
he could hear
We
me
were
because the
doing this
monitor's like
epic
right
shit.
here.
As I
right?
walked
So-
away from the monitors on the stage, the bass just disappears.
like within 10 feet, like
It's so normally.
So it looked like you were playing air guitar.
I was just
Yeah.
doing this.
What's funny, looking back on it, is just how much we were like figuring out this bass problem, so you couldn't hear him.
Yeah.
I'm a problem child.
And I don't know how the sound guy hears an entire drum and bass thing. The guitarist is not on the stage and doesn't think, I should turn up the bass a little bit.
Because the sound guy wasn't in the booth.
Maybe I should do that. He wasn't.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
We've seen a lot of that.
I'm
before.
mentally-
I'm used to a lot of sound guys being high, so
Huh?
I don't even think that venue. Well, yeah, that venue's not there anymore.
Yeah.
yeah,
It was
we
at.
closed.
I guess I can say it now. We played at Six Springs Tavern like right before they closed. Six Springs and
Okay.
It was like a month
Yeah.
before it closed.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
literally, we joked, we're like, we shut it down.
We killed it.
if we're still on the top, I mean, should I say?
No.
There's a crazy story. It's a good thing they're closed. I'll just say that.
Story for another time.
All right.
Well, I
Okay.
think that's a bingo score. The sound guy is a ghost. Dang it.
I thought the sound guy is high. Was on there too.
Oh, we get two?
No, I
Two
for one?
It was the sound guy is high, but
Can you change it?
I softened it a little bit to the sound guy is a ghost, so you could.
Let's see, where is it?
I'm not
wait,
farting.
I
I'm
guess
not
I don't
farting,
have to
I
have it.
promise.
Oh, here it is.
Give me
Oh,
that.
there's yeah.
I know,
You
like
have
the
one in
second
your-
you talked, you
your bag, right?
moved, and it made a sound. I was like, "What you doing over there, man?
It was like right when I was explaining the story, and then
Multitasking over there?"
I was like, silence.
The bottom.
Yeah, we gave these guys band bingo, so they're checking off different things that some of the.
I'm trying to decide: do people normally like see this and be like, "Oh, this fits us," or do they like secretly
just-
mention it and then like?
Well, we just started doing this to kind of prompt people to think of stories because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the telling the story is the best.
Yeah.
It is the best interview, the best way to get to know you. So now we know about Chandler that he's bigger than. It's a story about him being bigger than everyone else.
Basically.
Yeah. Basically,
Good summary. Better person.
our first show
Larger.
ended with him saying,
Longer.
"Bear in mind, it's our first show."
But
I just walked off stage.
Yeah.
I wish I could have got off faster.
I know. Should have ran off. Cover my face.
So I gotta ask you, Chandler, do you do anything special with your hair?
No, that's Nick.
Nick, I'm sorry.
Not really. I'm gonna be honest. So I, for many years I lived with, with two sisters, and when one sister moved out, it was about the time that I started growing my hair, which was about two and a half years ago.
Yeah.
This is only 2.5 years.
Looking
My
at
hair
my
was
shape, my
pretty
style.
short, probably about as long as this.
My hair's terrible.
And and so literally when I started growing my hair, I was like, okay, well, I use like Suave Mint and Axe. Like, I need better shampoo. I can't use 3-in-1s in my hair.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, she uses Aussie, so I'm gonna buy Aussie. Now it turns out people say apparently you're not supposed to use that for long hair now. So, but honestly, I just asked my girlfriend. I don't know if she bought me some conditioner that she swears by from TJ Maxx. I don't even know what it is. It's gold, and I love it.
Smells good. That's all I care about.
I just typically don't like use anything that heats the hair up. Like I don't curl it or
Oh, yeah,
anything.
no. That's bad.
So I just honestly I recently got my first haircut in like 3 years.
I haven't got my hair cut in 4 years.
I just cut my hair after not cutting it for like 2 years.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Long
It was
hair.
about as long as his.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, his was pretty long, and I remember seeing him the day when he cut it. I didn't recognize him. Like, I actually, like, I was looking for him, and I couldn't find him. And then I saw his girlfriend, I was like, wait.
Like, uh-oh.
Oh.
She's with someone she
Have I
shouldn't
walked
be.
in on
And turn
someone?
around, hey, what's
Like,
up?
Who's she with?
Oh!
Time for me to get offended. Oh, my gosh.
Anybody have bingo?
Oh, let's see. Let's see,
Unfortunately.
any other ones?
I've broken, so breaking sticks, not necessarily in a solo, but just my last, probably 5 or 6 shows, I've broken my sticks in every single one of them. And on 2 of them, I lost my stick bag, or I forgot my stick bag at one of them, and then the second one, somebody stole it on the way out. So, and I hadn't played yet, so I just had 1 pair of sticks in my car. And I went and grabbed those, and they're similar beat up to the ones that I have over there right now. It's mangled and the rim shot marks, and into the first song of that one, it broke, and I'm playing with, so I turned it around and I'm playing with the sharp shattered part in my hand so that it acts like any attack, and had nothing else to do with it. There was a stick next to me on the ground from the last guy. It was also broken. But I only break them when I don't have other sticks, so.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Well, I remember we played at Six Strings, and we get down.
6 Strings.
We get down there, and
Favorite place.
and he tells me,
Shit, Dad, I forgot my drumsticks.
Oh,
Please stop by Guitar Center.
oh my
Dude,
gosh.
it's so stressful when that happens.
Give me them Neil
First-
Peart 9000s.
First gig I played as a drummer, forgot my throne.
And you forget a throne, bro.
Dude,
How did you
I don't-
play
I
so
don't
Better
well?
than
know.
just forgetting the
I-
seat and just getting
like-
the bass station.
So I was
You're
ready to
mounted.
just go on there because they had a bunch of seats there that were just kind of like, you know, just regular plastic seats with no armrest. And so I was like, make do. But luckily, you know, the other drummer for one of the band's opening was really cool. And so he let me
had
borrow
pity on
it.
you.
I was like, you know, before that, all my gigs were as a singer. So what, you know, I brought, honestly,
You.
makeup and clothes
Yeah.
and a mic.
You
Because
did.
I wore like eye makeup. Like I did like black tears and stuff down my face. It was-
I never asked you, have you ever dropped a pick during a set and like just had to do the whole like fingernail, like fake it till you make it type deal?
No, I haven't done that.
Don't do it.
That's why you gotta get like duct tape on your mic stand and just duct tape a bunch of picks.
Sounds like you've had an experience like that.
I've had something like that. Cuticles are still recovering.
Segment.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I play with a pick as a bassist,
Huh?
but
You even play bass, man?
but it's just like I get more percussion out of it. Like there's more lows and highs. There's more like percuss. I try to stay like I'm rhythm, so I'm trying to stay with him and sound big and
Yeah.
also move around a little bit when I need to.
Yeah.
And it's like I can play it with fingers, but there's a soft, and the tone I'm going for is more aggressive, more
Yeah.
pronounced,
Yeah.
punctual.
Finger style
Pick,
is much
that's-
better for like warm,
Yeah.
like in my head at least, like chiller stuff. Like it can still be fast, but it's not
Yeah.
necessarily like angry. Like there's not a lot of angry finger style
Yeah.
players.
Like I feel like our music might be weird if you weren't playing with a pick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they sound very different.
Yeah.
And I'm about like
I mean-
honestly, I'm about 75% as good as I am with a pick. With like, okay, so how am I gonna phrase this? I'm not as good with fingers as I am pick.
Yes,
so
but you were
I lose a little
75%
bit.
as good. Yes,
Yeah.
with finger as you are with pick.
Like I know where to
can
bridge my
math.
thumb at and then move around, but
Yeah.
it's
So we're
just
not.
don't get that.
Yeah. No Cliff Burton.
There's a band that's going to be in the show that the last show that they're in. They're not really metal exactly, but they're really hard rock. So
Yeah.
they fit. But the bassist, he played until his hand was bloody. He
Oh,
was,
wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
he was
Nice.
really aggressive.
That's got to be crazy. 'cause-
Oh yeah, what was it? The guy with the white beard?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 11 team.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's entertaining as hell too because
Oh,
he's
yeah.
like
what was their name?
11 team.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought
a
at
good
first you
name.
said 1183. That's
No.
another local band. The bassist is kind of crazy.
Bassist is wild, man.
He wore like a wizard hat.
Oh wow,
He looks
okay.
so epic.
They were fun. They were fun.
Okay, so who else? What other crazy things have you seen?
I saw, okay, bro. Okay, the last show that I played. Oh, what was their band's name? Oh, I forget their name. But the guitar player, he's this really old dude in a band with like
That's
a
awesome.
20-year-old singer and a 20-year-old bass player and then an old guy on the drums. And the guitar player, old dude, writes it. And before their second to last song, he gets up on the mic and he's like, "If you couldn't tell, I wrote all of these songs with my dick in my hand." And then turns around, presses this button, and this giant inflatable dick grows up on
Oh, I know that band. I played with them.
Dude, that guy is so funny, bro.
Dude, now I gotta see this band.
Dude.
What's their band name?
I don't remember. I'll go find the poster and tell
Yeah.
you.
If
But
anybody knows in the comments, please tell
Please.
us what the name
Yeah,
of
it
the
sounds like
band
this
is.
may be an infamous DFW band. Yeah.
they're actually really good too. Like that
Dude, they
singer
were,
guy
like,
can
really good.
fucking sing, and he had huge
Was
energy.
it Zativa Kid?
What?
Okay, there was a band I played with that same night named
Maybe.
Zativa Kid. I don't know if it's them. Or
I don't think so. I don't think it had kid in the name.
Okay.
I'll have
Well,
to
I
find
hope
it.
not.
I'll find
a
it.
giant inflatable dick on stage.
Well, see,
Drake?
we played with this band that I wouldn't call it crazy, out of respect, but they were like I think they were originally a 4-piece, but when they performed they were a 3-piece, and my understanding at the end of the show is that they told us like their singer had recently passed away,
Oh yeah.
and so they put like just a giant speaker in the middle of the stage and like put his vocal track on the speaker and like mic'd it.
They had a styrofoam head.
Oh, and they had a
stuck to it,
styrofoam
too.
head stuck to it. I forgot
Yeah.
about it. I don't remember the band.
It's
This was not when I was in the
Mirror
It's not
Image. It was
Near
the band
Mirror.
before Near Mirror.
Yeah, Mirror Images.
Sorry.
I wasn't.
band.
This wasn't at Six Springs, was it?
No, that
No,
was
this is
a Wrigley,
originally.
Because I feel like I would've
Fort
remembered
Worth,
that.
Yeah, yeah,
I forgot their
no.
name. Dude had a badass drum set too.
They were crazy. They were playing like 8 strings and like super low. Honestly, you couldn't really hear the singer the way they had it mixed there, but we were so confused. We spent like, as soon as they got off the stage, we're like, what's up with that? we're like asking questions. Like, why is there mannequin head? At the time, of course, our thinking was just maybe the singer couldn't make it or something.
Yeah. Oh,
He didn't make
Yeah,
it
he
at
couldn't
all.
make it.
Oh my god.
I
This is
wasn't
true.
gonna say it.
Well, we had another band in here that they don't have a guitar player, and the reason why is because their guitarist passed away,
Mm.
Rest in
and
peace.
so they've just gone on without a guitarist. So
Their bass player has like
What's
a
up?
crazy setup. He's actually splitting it out.
Oh,
his
he's doing the
bass-
split signal with like an octave pedal?
So what he does is he's running 3 different amps on
Damn.
his
What
bass.
the hell?
So he splits it once, and he has one that's more tuned for a bass. He might do an octave pedal, I'm not
Yeah.
sure. But then he has two other amps that are the guitar, right?
Ah,
so like
okay.
he has this crazy setup. You just see 3 amps behind him, and then like 3 pedal boards in front of him, and like another like a foot stomper or like wah pedal something
Yeah.
like that.
I saw
Does
this
he have like
guy.
a huge, like, is it like a lot of strings so he can, or is it still like a 4 or a 5?
He had a 5.
He had a 5-string and he had a 6-string.
Wow.
Sounds like the craziest chorus effect I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I saw this guy on the internet. He did a cover of Megadeth of Peace Sells, and it was Symphony of Destruction, because there's a lot of like guitar coming in and coming out for vocals, but the bass keeps going, and he like integrated this switch on his guitar for like turning it from a bass to a guitar using like I guess like some octave elsewhere, but he put the switch to do it. So he would play bass and guitar at the same time, then cut out the guitar and just play bass.
That's
when
crazy.
It went away.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
that is pretty wild.
Yeah.
People are menaces.
I'm not doing. Don't look at me. I'm not.
Yeah, it's gonna like hurt your brain.
I got an octave pedal.
I just wonder how
to
many
an
takes
extent.
until he can. Yes.
I've done it.
What's the strangest place that you played, or strangest setup, like weird stage,
Place
weird?
with no bathrooms.
Oh, I need a bathroom. I need bathrooms.
I feel like they've been pretty normal. You got one?
Was it the one that just closed out in like
What?
was it Big Rob's?
Oh, Big
no,
Rob's. Are you talking
Pools?
about the one I
The
mentioned?
one with billiards?
Yeah,
Bob's or something's
Big
billiards?
Rob's.
You can get
Yes.
Big Rob's.
Yeah,
they just
that one.
they just closed like
Yeah,
this
they
year.
closed.
Unfortunately, saying they just closed could mean a lot of
Places,
venues
yeah.
at this point.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is unfortunate.
Yeah,
Honestly,
Yeah. COVID.
it really
Um,
is.
A bitch.
at least one go they deserve. But Big Rob's, it was cool. Bathroom, men's bathroom at least.
Oh my gosh. It was death.
There was a shower
I don't
curtain.
use it.
So there's 2 urinals, civilization.
Thank God. God bless.
But the stall where there's a toilet where you can seat yourself if you need to attend your business, there's no door, and it's just a shower curtain that people have like messed with so many times that it doesn't sit in the wall anymore. So it used to be like horizontal and then like gradually do this. You can see the scuff marks on the wall.
Yeah.
So when you get in there, you're like, uh-oh, you got to tell me around, please, before I go on stage. And you go in there and like the shower curtain, first of all, you're like, a shower curtain. And then you're like, okay, we're taking it back. And it's like diagonal. And you're like, is this thing even stable?
Tell our big
And
story.
like when you move the curtain, the whole thing just falls and like bonks you on the head. And then you gotta like do this like crazy maneuver where you're like that. Like holding up the curtain. You're like occupado. Like it's,
All right,
yeah.
we got footage of you twerking now.
yeah, don't gift that. Don't gift that.
That's a good idea. We could gift that.
Don't.
I feel like the venue itself was fine,
nice venue.
but
Yeah. That was cool.
The sound
Sorry,
guy
I'm
was
not-
incredible. The
yeah, the sound guy
really,
was
really
that was
good.
actually
Yeah.
probably one of the best sound guys I've worked with.
It really was.
Yeah.
I remember like I was moving around on stage a lot, and he had like his iPad for controlling monitors, and like I would just walk over to like the left side of the stage, and I would just hear him changing the levels and putting me louder in the monitors like on the left side as I moved. I'm like, okay, this is
Yeah,
awesome.
I talked to him. He was
Yeah.
pretty good because we went up there. We saw some bands up there. Him and his brother have played up there with
No, you're thinking of Six Springs. I never played at Big Rob's.
no, but
They had an
but,
iPad,
but
too.
Ryan did.
Ryan did, but
Yeah.
I never played there.
Yeah, you're right. You didn't, but Ryan did.
It was a good spot.
Ryan played with Beyond Apathy.
You said
Name
Brian.
sounds
I used to work with a
Ryan was
guy.
not.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember his name. He had a big beard, but
For
he
real?
works for like Torch Entertainment.
Oh, Brian. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. He's who
He
booked
did-
us for Big Robs.
Yeah,
Okay.
he booked us for a lot of the Roost shows.
Yeah,
Cool guy. I haven't talked to him in a while.
yeah.
Yeah, it's too bad. Like Christy said, there's Big Rob's, Six Springs, Hanks. Yeah, it was
That
so that Unison.
that place in Fort Worth where it was it's historical, where it was closed for a long time, then a couple bought it and revived it,
Hell
and
yeah.
then it closed again.
Not
Oh,
Red
yeah,
Rock,
they're-
right?
Hell no.
No, not Regalia. There,
Yeah,
there's
not
there,
like Halton,
there were
right?
That was
not Haltom. There were.
Haltom was cool.
I think
Yeah.
it was downtown or
Yeah.
close to downtown. There were a couple places in Fort Worth. There's
Amplify closed
Amplify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one still hurts, man.
I don't
Yeah,
understand why
it's-
that hasn't opened back up because I thought
Didn't
they could,
wasn't
a
it something
beautiful
like
spot.
I feel like it was like a land dispute, right, or something?
I don't know.
New ownership.
So from my
Yeah.
understanding, what happened is that they sold it, and
Oh, okay.
they weren't gonna do like metal there anymore, which sucks.
I mean, I just remember like being like a young kid and like I first found out the name Gas Monkey because Anthrax was playing there. It's like hell yeah. But yeah, I mean, even in like Denton, Killers Tacos closed
Dude,
down.
that was
Well,
so
actually,
sad.
was it El Cucuys? I think they recently had their first show there.
yeah.
At
Oh,
the
really?
place that took it over.
Yeah, El
Oh, cool.
Cucuys took it over.
Let's go.
I thought I saw something that they recently had their
That's
first show.
that's good because
That's
I
hype.
was following for a bit and I kept like checking and I guess for a while they were just kind of running it as a restaurant primarily, but
Yeah.
it's good to know that they went back to shows because
Yeah.
that was sad.
It's a small space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
But it did so like Killers Tacos actually did so like they were great for the
Killers.
music scene.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
It's about the scene.
Yeah.
But like
for that.
honestly, they were probably like one of the most influential venues
In this
for
area.
the
Didn't-
scene.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
Didn't Can't Swim play there? They're like big too.
I'm not sure, but like I knew just about everybody that I talked to. They knew Killers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, that's like the
Every
one.
Anyone that's been through like the North Dallas, Denton area has
Yeah.
played Killers.
I was like outside of like the kind of bigger ones. Like everyone I talked to had mentioned Killers at some point.
Yeah. I think we're in the rise of house shows now, though. I've been
Yeah.
seeing lots of house shows
Still
going
I've
on.
played
seen
like
a
a
lot of that
house
too.
I like
I know
house
like
shows.
there's was it Witch House in Denton?
Witch House is hard. I just played a spot, the Asylum in Denton too.
I've heard of that one too.
Yeah.
There's one in Sherman that's starting to do stuff. I'm forgetting the name of it.
So how do they? I haven't been to a show like that. So how is the setup? It's just like a regular house.
It was smaller than this room. It was like
Living room or something.
yeah, it was like their living room, and they set up mattresses all up on the walls. So they had mattress. This one didn't have a mattress behind me on my kit, and then like the space for us was like drums were here, singers here, basser is here,
Yeah.
and like that's it. And then there's just people in front of us for probably like 15-ish feet. And it was like not a ton of people, but like it was probably one of my favorite shows to be in the audience for, just because it was like we're all like right there and
Yeah.
condensed.
Yeah.
And,
Still
and doing
technically like a
stuff.
packed show.
Yeah, it
I
was a
just-
packed show.
While you were talking about it, I just randomly thought about like we did a house party for one of my friends' birthdays a couple years back, and something that was funny about it was our bass player was not into like
Partying.
any of that. So literally he like got all his stuff there, set up, and we were gonna like play probably like an hour and a half or something into it. And so he just went and like slept in the back of his truck. We just like woke him
Like-
up and like, hey, it's time to go.
Yeah. And then we got the police showed up after 3 songs.
Yeah, 3 or 4 songs. Yeah.
And, that was
And they
fun.
were actually really cool about it. They were
Yeah.
just like, you know, it sounded like I think one of them even mentioned that they liked what they heard. But they were like, but you didn't get approval from the city, and yeah, we didn't. It was a very last minute thing.
Yeah.
So we're like, understand. Went back to partying.
Yeah.
Go back to underage drinking.
No,
I was 21.
I was
Stop making
like
so much noise.
I was 22 at the time.
Oh, then I wasn't 21.
Oh, then I must have been 23.
Yeah.
we were
I was
21.
I was
yeah.
21 for sure.
Yeah.
The timeline.
Yeah, that brings back. So we never had any house. We had house parties, but not house
Yeah.
concerts.
Yeah.
And we'd have the keg and the red Solo cups, and you pay for a cup, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
back in your college days. This isn't like we here when we.
yeah,
This was
I know.
5 years ago. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You guys didn't see it about 30 minutes ago. We got
We had some
blasted.
people over during COVID.
I just
Oh, we
remember
definitely did.
it was just fun because we had to like go to like the breaker in the garage and be like, okay, like which outlet is actually going to be able to power this mixing console?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
think
we
it
had
was
a
weirdly
massive
like the
console.
one that the microwave was plugged into.
Those microwaves need that power.
We like ran it through like the window
Megawatts.
back into the
Yeah.
house into the kitchen.
Yeah, we've had some interesting.
We've blown a fuse in here before.
Yeah.
More than once.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing is you plug something in and then everything
Yeah.
shuts down. It's like,
Yeah.
fuck, which
I've had a
which
power
circuit is
issue
it?
specifically on my Digitech whammy. I've got like the blue, kind of like the Tom Morello, like red Digitech whammy. 2 out of like the maybe 6 venues I played, I plug into the power and like it's going into the wall, but then there's a power strip, and they make it look like it's not just going to one spot, but it's going to one spot.
Yeah.
And I plug that thing in. It's like an octave pedal, like an octave, fifth, whatever. Hit it, go up, and then just dies. Everything else is fine on my pedal board, but then that thing blinks like a couple of times. I've never seen it do nothing else besides a solid light in my life.
Yeah. It
So-
always struggles whenever we
Yeah,
try to
it
practice.
did it back to
Yeah.
like when we first started getting together.
I remember I have a.
"What?"
It's funny is we
Yeah.
always joke about. I have like myself. I have like an Ampeg SVT4 bass amp, and every time you turn it on, the lights flicker.
They, like,
Every
they go-
time, no
they go
matter what
completely
room you're
off.
in, they just cut the lights for like a half
Like,
second.
zoom.
Those things be sucking power. I don't know, man.
I mean, it's huge.
Well, and power can be like a real problem in some of the
Yeah.
venues.
For sure.
Definitely.
Sometimes they don't have any, or it's not convenient, or they're on different circuits, and so
Yeah.
then you got hum problems, and
Yep.
Oh
Especially
yeah,
with bass.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I had a really bad feedback hum problem at Ridgely. I played there
What?
twice.
Really?
I can't hear you.
I had like a really bad hum problem. So I played the room, I played the lounge, the smaller place, and then we played the room the second time. The room just like had the worst sound issues for me. Everyone else sounded fine, but it's just like I was doing backing vocals, and my monitor was facing me, and I had to like do the whole like if this is stage front, I'm like come up. I would like face this way half the time, like I'm rocking out with my friends, and then like had to lean over to the mic and sing, because if I turned it right here where my pickups were facing the monitor.
Bruh.
Sounds like you got you attract some sound problems.
He's a problem
Yeah.
child. He is a problem child.
I am a problem child.
Mama said you're special.
Oh yeah, he had like one where because we run him through a DI at our rehearsal space.
Yeah.
And he like plugged in, and we just hear like this awful noise, like awful. And he's like, and we're wondering like, is it the amp? Is like what's going on? And it turned out like his flanger had like the weirdest settings. I've never seen it before. It was like this high pitched squeal, only because the flanger. It sounded like feedback to me.
Do you know
Yeah.
what I found? Like I found out what it was.
Feedback.
So
That's true.
every time I put my pedal board back into its case, I think when I close the case, that flanger is the thing that's poking, that's closest to the lid. So it's like a knob, and it's like instead of it being like vertical, it's horizontal. And that knob, whenever you close the case, I think it turns the rate up.
Yeah.
So instead of it just being like, wobbly, it's just like wee.
They
Yeah,
should-
just
they should-
like literally like didn't touch the strings. Just we're like sitting there. I mute the channel. I'm like
We had the
it goes
bass,
away.
We
We're
had the
like, "What's
bass unplugged at one point, and it was still feeding back. I mean, like,
Yeah.
if your
Yeah.
flanger is that strong, you designed it kind of poorly. I'm not.
You know
gonna
how
lie.
I got that flanger? Have I told you?
Nah.
My OG, so early roots. There was an original guitar. There was 3 guitarists.
Damn.
There's a
It's
long
lot
story
of
behind
guitarists.
that. First guitarist, I had a mic stand, and I was like tired of. We did covers back then, and I would put my phone up on the mic stand because I had a little table on it, and he was like, "No, I need this." I'm like, no, I need this. And he had a mic stand, so I bought him a little table because I'm like, no, this is mine.
This is mine.
So, for whatever reason, I think like his broke, or this is like right before I bought it for him. But I had like a Boss style, off-brand Boss style, where it's got the little screw on the bottom of the pedal. And he set his phone up to like read lyrics or tabs, and he just barely kicked one of the 3 legs on the bottom, and his phone fell and just did a flip, and then stopped flipping, defied physics. And here's a little screw, and went and decapitated the screw. And it's spring loaded, so as soon as it did that, just bing, and it flew up. Like the lever like flew up, and it started like flapping, and it basically that pedal was ruined. So I got a little tiny micro pedal, and that thing is like way stronger than that thing ever was. But that pedal was like a hand-me-down from like a neighbor that gave me like their parents things from like back in the 80s. So I was sad to lose that pedal, but that
Nostalgia.
thing is strong, so much so it causes
Yeah.
issues. That
Put it to
The
its
thing is,
maxes.
man, part of playing an instrument is just like the never-ending quest of finding the pedal that suits your need at
I
that
don't
very
have that
moment.
problem.
You're always like
Like,
chasing the dragon
it's
with your
just-
sound, your tone.
The thing is, I'm like, at least guitar-wise, I'm like, I got it. I have the sound I want. But I feel like, whenever, we're writing more music sometime in the future, I'd be like, well, what if I want to try this one?
He gets comfortable, and he's like, I need a new guitar.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, Facebook Marketplace, somebody will buy it. And then he's like, ooh, I have money to a new guitar.
So here's a very interesting way of thinking. Tom Morello, he basically just found a tone that he was kind of like, okay, I can deal with this, and he just stuck to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just didn't change it. He's like, good
This is
enough.
it. Yeah.
or
work.
you
If
could
it
be
work, it
like
work.
every other musician and just I gotta have another pedal. I need that.
Yeah.
I have to have that.
Practice. Buy
I mean,
new gear.
I'm not gonna lie.
Practice, Buy new gear.
Right.
My gear making, like decision making process for my amp, whenever I wanted to go full tube, like yes, I did a bunch of research, bunch of sound demos, and I was like, this is the one I want. And then, out of curiosity, there was 2 bands specifically that I'm like, I love their tone. I'm curious to see what they used, and they used exactly the amp that I wanted. So that's why I was like, okay, EVH 5150 EL34, like that's what I need.
EVH 50.
You know what's
This-
funny? Roots, both guitarists, besides the original. Original used Marshall.
Yeah.
The other 2 both use the exact same setup.
Yeah. I'm
Except
like,
for one of them using
used
orange as the cab.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's just that EVH is like,
Yeah, I mean, dude,
gotta
all
go.
that thing needs is just an overdrive, and it's ready to go. And so I put like an Archer overdrive pedal on it, and it's exactly what I want. those two bands, I was like Anthrax and Code Orange. I'm like, I want that guitar tone.
Code Orange is fat.
Two very different bands.
Yes. Yes.
Very.
Yeah.
Just a little.
So guys, where can everybody find you? What on social media? Do you have a website?
Yeah, so right now we're mainly going to be on Instagram. You can find us at I believe it's Barren Mind Music Texas.
Yes.
You'd be surprised how many names are already taken on Instagram.
Yeah.
But I will say at this point we've written 7 songs. We decided our best course of action was we want to release a single as our first thing. So with our upcoming show, we want to be able to kind of time it and release our single. So that'll be up on Spotify, Apple Music, everything.
19th of July when it's finna drop.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
look for Barren Minds sometime in July
Mhm.
for their new single. And thanks for coming by today. Really
Yeah, of
appreciate
course.
it, guys.
Yeah, thank you
we'll
very
see
much.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you
Yeah.
at the Music Fest, Melted Metals Eve, coming up later this month.
Yeah.
Heck
We're
yeah.
excited.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Very
guys.
Do it.
Thanks.
Thank you.